technology is something that we can absolutely use to improve as public speakers. I remember when I first started teaching public speaking at the University of Maryland as a graduate student, I would have to lug across a VHS camcorder to my classes with an enormous tripod to record students, and things have obviously changed a lot in those 20 some years. So today I'm here with a couple of my incredible coaches from Spoken with Authority to talk about some of the technologies that we would love you to know about that could help you improve your presentation skills. So let's start with Jean Miller. Jean, what's your suggestion?
Hi, Christine. Well, we are all recording more than we used to record for consumption by other people. So we know we use it to record to practice, but also to post things to social media, or even just to keep a record of a meeting. And so if you are in a small room where you're not using amplification, but you'd like to record, maybe to share later with people who aren't present, or if you're recording for social media and using your phone, I recommend a lavalier microphone. This is the microphone itself that you can clip on. You can also just set it on the tabletop if you're in a conference room, or set it on a lectern. And then you have this piece that you plug in to your phone. And it's really plug and play, easy, and it will improve the quality. The audio quality is improved dramatically. It cuts down on all of that ambient noise and gives you a good, crisp, clear sound. So it can make you much more professional very easily. And I'm sure they make them for different kinds of phones. Mine is for an iPhone. And it's an inexpensive tool, $10, $15. I highly recommend it.
Amazing. That's a great suggestion. And Jean, I was even surprised. I was working with a group on some online training videos, and I was assuming that they would want me to go to a studio. And they said, if you have an iPhone or smartphone that's relatively new and a microphone and a green screen, there's really no need to go into a studio to do high quality recording. So it is a great reminder that the cameras on phones are really powerful, and with a little supplement, the microphones can be really great too, even for more formal recordings and for the informal ones as well. So great tip, and we'll include a link to the one that you use in the notes for the video. So thanks for sharing that.
I've actually used it in a room with about 90 people, with that just on the lectern and the camera back 50 feet, and worked beautifully.
Wow, that's great to know. Excellent. Bjorn, what is your technology solution that you want to share?
I want to make a pitch for a function in Microsoft Word called Smart Art. We all know how important visuals are. It's great when we find that perfect image. Fantastic, great, keep doing that. There's also people out there who are really great with things like Adobe Illustrator. That person is not me, and that's fantastic. There's these great new tools, things like Canva makes beautiful presentations that are a little different than PowerPoint. That's fantastic too. But also, getting up to speed on a whole new platform can be difficult. But I want to make the case for Smart Art because it's built into Microsoft Word. It's also built in, I think it's a function within PowerPoint as well. And it just allows you to express the relationship amongst terms. You can show processes, you can show hierarchies, you can show timelines. And so I think sometimes we think that there's words and images, and those two things are separate. But sometimes I think that the relationship among words is really important, and that's a way to visualize something. And that's an untapped resource for a lot of presenters. So Smart Art in Microsoft Word, I can't believe I'm saying that, but it's been very helpful to me.
Amazing. And it's come a long way since clip art, where back in the early days of Microsoft, they were pretty bad looking images. And there's a lot of powerful tools you can use in PowerPoint and Microsoft Office suite in order to improve your presentations. I actually wanted to share one that is in Microsoft PowerPoint, and that is Microsoft Presenter Coach. And rather than tell you, I gave a quick overview of how it works so you can see it in action. And this is, if you're not already using Microsoft Presenter Coach, it's time you know about it. There are a few reasons why. One, it's an amazing tool. Two, you probably already have it on your computer. And three, it saves time. So let's talk about what Microsoft Presenter Coach is. When you are in PowerPoint, if you hit Slideshow on the top toolbar, you will see an option to rehearse with Coach. You hit rehearse with Coach and then hit start recording. Now you can prepare for a presentation, you can practice a contribution to an upcoming meeting, you can practice responses to questions that you anticipate to get on a panel presentation. And Microsoft Presenter Coach will listen to you and will then spit out a report and tell you how you did. Now, you do have to have PowerPoint open in order to use Microsoft Presenter Coach, but you don't actually have to use it with the PowerPoint presentation. It has no idea what your content is. So even if you're getting ready for a meeting or responding to questions in a panel or a job interview or any other situation, you can still use it. When you're done, you end your PowerPoint presentation, and voila, it will tell you a summary of how long you spent speaking, so you are more aware of time limits. It will tell you about filler words, tell you if you use ums and ahs and likes and you knows. It will help you identify repetitive language, and it will give you a sense of your pace. This is really helpful, especially if you are working on reducing your rate of speaking, if you're working on the timing of your presentation, reducing filler words, and for folks who are working on pitch and working on having less monotone, more emphasis, or perhaps working on getting into your optimal pitch, this is a really fantastic tool. So that's my quick update on Microsoft Presenter Coach. It is something that you probably already have on your computer. It is something that is available on both the PC and Mac versions of PowerPoint that are new. You don't have to download something or pay for a subscription like some of the other public speaking rehearsal tools out there. And lastly, it'll save you time. So instead of having to figure out and calculate your own words per minute or junk word use by recording and reviewing, voila, it is all here and has more data and metrics than you probably would be able to catch on your own. So if you aren't already using Microsoft Presenter Coach, now's the time. Great. That was my quick pitch on tutorial on Microsoft Presenter Coach. Lisa, what technology would you recommend?
I'm going to take one of our potentially new super high-tech options, which is our phones, and take it all the way old school. Because what came to mind for me when thinking about the technologies that we use, I guess I'm always thinking about how we first identify our audiences, get really good clarity about who we're talking to, what they need from us, what's going on with them, what they're worried about in their industry, what's happening in their particular office or personally. So I always start with audience. And I think that our phones are kind of, as Bjorn was saying, an underused resource that we have right there in our hands to say, I can find these things out. I don't have to look inside my own head and hope I did a good job knowing what I already know about these people. I can go find out. So my super low-tech version of using this high-tech device is call people. Either call somebody who is directly connected to your audience and talk to them and find out what's really on their minds, what they need, what they're looking for, what you can do that will let you absolutely hit a home run with their people. Or if you can't do that, if you don't have access directly to those people, who are their people? Who knows something about them? Who works with them? Who has worked with them before? Who's done what you're doing before? All of those resources are available to us in different ways. So I'm just going to say, pick up the phone, draw on all the resources that you have to gather information about where you're headed and what that audience needs from you. And everybody wins. They get what they need and you look great.
Absolutely. I do think the phone is an underutilized resource, and especially among people who have grown up and become professionals with instant messaging and email and texting, people who didn't have that their entire career, and maybe it's something that is newer to them. for them, especially picking up the phone can be really helpful. It may be uncomfortable if you are used to texting or using other modes of communication, but thinking about your audience and considering when a phone call might be a great mode of communication is a really great way to, like you're talking about, Lisa, analyze and adapt to your audience. Now, our colleague Michelle wasn't able to join our discussion today. However, one of the tools that she uses all the time with clients and wanted to share is a decibel meter. This is something that allows us to help our clients understand how loud their voices are, especially when we're working with them online. It's hard for us as we're coaching or listening to them to know how loud their voices are, how strong their voices are over recording, because we can manipulate it with how we adjust the settings of our sound or how our client is using a microphone. But a great way to get a good sense is using this decibel meter. So there are different apps out there, and I'll show you this one that Michelle recommends. It is one that is meant for OSHA requirements, for worker safety, just to have a sense of if you're in an environment that's too loud. So this is one that's great, and it will show your sound level. And you do want to be in this yellow range for your voice to be loud and not to be soft or be considered weak, even when you're on a microphone. So this is a great one. And for those of you who are Apple Watch users, just know that you already have a decibel feature on your Apple Watch. So I'm trying to, it's hard to see, but it is there. It is showing me right now that it is okay. It's a green level, so it'll give you the decibels. It's a little bit tricky to show the Apple Watch so that the screen is on, but it's a little yellow icon with an ear if you're looking on your Apple Watch apps and are interested in finding it. So those are a couple technologies that you might not already be using, but you may already have access to that you should. So Jean talked about a microphone to supplement the microphone on your phone. We talked about using SmartArt in Microsoft Word, you said, Bjorn. We talked about, Lisa, picking up the phone. We talked about Microsoft Presenter Coach, which is part of PowerPoint. And we also talked about getting a decibel meter app or using the decibel meter app on your smartwatch. So we'll have some links and details in the notes for this video, and we hope that you enjoy using some of these tools to improve as a communicator.